taking it back to the old school because I'm an old fool who's so cool. I feel like that's what we're doing when it comes to
Lies.
today's. Don't start shitting on us when we just start, man. You are a guest in our home, sir.
I'm kidding.
Welcome to another episode of OSP Old School Perspective. It's your boy Shaun Q, my partner, like always,
Jake Roman.
And I know I fucked that up. We're gonna try this anyway. I did
too. It's okay.
I was like, I'm new here, but you guys just fucked your own intro up.
Because we're doing it during like Zoom and Skype and all that shit. Like it doesn't link up when we go OSP. It always sounds.
Watch. Let me try it. Watch me nail this. Hey, welcome to another episode. We are OSP. Come on, y'all. Hey, you're supposed to say it with me. Ready? Here
we go. See how that failed? See how that Anyway, thank you for joining us. We are still during quarantine time. We are still making the show happen. We appreciate our OSP fan for tuning in. We appreciate all the new YouTube followers. Thank you for going to YouTube and watching the show. Quick quarantine update. Anything? What's happening with you in the quarantine, J. Roman? How's life right now?
Life is good. I got a question for you, though.
I have an answer for you.
Because the draft just happened.
Yeah, we're going to get into that in a second.
So, but before that, how do you feel about your birthday being the same day that Tom Brady was drafted?
I care less about that and more about the fact that I share it with Chance the Rapper.
Whatever.
So if you can't see,
that's what's up.
If you can't see what's happening, and it sounds
that's another Easter egg for you.
Our longtime watcher, longtime listener, multiple time caller, the man, the myth, the legend, Lil Drummer Dude is joining us. We might have the instrumentals. Put a round of applause in there. In the building, say something to the people, Lil Drummer Dude.
What's happening, y'all? How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's staying safe. I hope everyone is, staying at home, washing their hands. Well, I mean, we should have been doing that in the first place. Yep. But making sure everyone's staying healthy, man. We're gonna get through this together, man. Stronger in numbers.
I like it. So we got the quarantine. What's up with you in quarantine? How you living?
I'm living good, man. I actually had time to kind of finish up my YouTube studio, so I was able to geek out my room a little bit.
Nice.
And stay healthy. I actually had a phone appointment with my doctor earlier, and everything went good. Blood pressure numbers are really good. So I'm doing what I can, man. I see Jay Roman's looking a little slimmer, man. I see that.
Jay Roman.
Since you last seen, trim the beard and trim the gut. I've lost 5 pounds in quarantine so far.
Hey, attaboy. I like it.
How I feel about that. That's what I'm talking about. I like that. So we're gonna get into something. We're gonna get into a category that actually all three of us have been talking about every time we run into each other for a while. And the category is gonna be what happened to hip hop movies. Now, before we even get into that, before we even touch up on that subject, let's get into what's poppin'.
Yes, what's poppin'?
Now,
I can't help it.
Now, I know, man. See, that's how I can tell you a long-time listener because you even know the cutaways before they even show up. So, what Jay Roman friends, right? He was alluding to right now as we're recording this, it is day 3 of the NFL draft. So, yeah, I think the most interesting thing I saw was Aaron Rodgers' replacement getting drafted with their first pick. Did you see that, Jay, or no?
No.
The Packers' first pick, they picked a quarterback, dude named Love.
There's so many memes of like Aaron Rodgers looking at like play sheets, and they're like, "Wait, so this is his tape? Oh yeah, you're getting replaced."
Yeah. It's like when you look at the tablet, he's looking. It's like when you think they're gonna bring you some weapons, and instead they draft your replacement. He's like, "What the?"
Well, I think that's because I heard that there was a deal for him to go to Chicago.
No, there was. I saw that fake news thing about him going to the Patriots. I saw that fake news shit, which I thought was hilarious, but it would make sense because both you guys are Patriots fans. So you're a fan of old quarterbacks. So I don't see why you wouldn't get a slightly younger Tom Brady anyway. He would make sense in New England.
Well, in my defense, when the draft happened a couple years ago, I was in favor of please get Lamar Jackson. That's where the future of NFL is going. But I'm like, only thing that's missing the way Josh Daniels, calls games as an offensive coordinator. I'm like, only thing missing is a quarterback that can if it's not open.
Right. And I said to you before, you couldn't get Lamar Jackson because he wouldn't be Lamar Jackson. He wouldn't get he wouldn't have got MVP. He'd be on the bench right now watching Tom Brady. Tom Brady wasn't going to retire anytime.
Well, think about that. How long did Aaron Rodgers sit behind Brett Favre?
Probably for the same amount of time that this dude Love is going to sit behind Aaron Rodgers. But you would have wasted years off this dude's life. Like, Lamar Jackson is hot. His first year, he needed to get that out the way. You don't want to do that when a dude's been riding the bench for 3 years, and then the next year he's been there, 4 years? Now he gets to show up? Nah, his time is now, and the Patriots would have robbed him of that easily.
True. Yeah, I mean, Lamar Jackson, I think we said it last time when we talked about him, he's a transcendent talent. Like, he's way up there. He deserved to be out there as fast as he is. He can't ride the bench for 3 years. He's not that type.
Well, that's what I would have done. I would have took him.
So
I get that.
The draft is popping. Everybody's making moves. I'm kind of okay with the moves my Bears made. I don't know why we drafted a tight end first after we just paid old-ass Jimmy Graham all his money.
We drafted 2 tight ends.
Dude, a tight end, a cornerback, and a receiver, which I don't understand.
I mean, I like, as a Trojan fan, UCLA, but that tight end is good.
Not only that, I get what Matt Nagy's trying to do. He's trying to recreate what he had in Kansas City. So he's trying to find the next Travis Kelce. And Jimmy Graham ain't it, but he's still got some years. He's got some.
He's still got some juice.
Yeah,
I know Rusty's pissed off.
Yeah.
Rusty's like, I gotta get rid of my Rodgers stuff. Dang
it. The draft stuff I don't really get into too much because I only know basically the first 5 to 10 players, if that. So I've always been the type, I don't watch a lot of college because I don't care until I see what they can do in the pros.
Right.
If they're good in college, great. I can watch some of the big games, but I'm not going to watch them game by game because that doesn't matter to me. If you don't make the pros, forget it. I'm not going to know your name. That's just how I am. I'm not into the college that much.
That makes sense. If you don't follow college that much, and it doesn't make – I mean, if you follow college, especially like Lil Drummer Dude who follows a specific college with USC because he went there, you follow these players and you're more excited when they get picked to a team.
That makes sense.
You drafted, you're like, yes, that one, he deserved it. He had a good career, so on and so forth.
Of course.
So
I like seeing a guy that wants the check opposed to a guy that's had the check for years.
I get that.
That's been my theory for years.
So I haven't been in the best mood today. So I know you guys haven't. I don't know if you guys have started it like I told you both to, but so me and my sister, me and Vel, our producer, we're chopping it up because we were watching hashtag Black as Fuck on Netflix.
Hilarious.
Have you started it? Have you finished it?
I haven't finished it, but it's hilarious.
Okay, Jay, have you started it?
I have not yet. I saw the preview and I've seen the hate on Twitter.
So here's what happens. I have to mention this. I was talking to Vel about this, and it's one of those. There's so many ways I want to go about this, but I decided the only fair way to do it to our podcast and to our fam and to our listeners is for one of you to give me a 60-second clock, and I will get all this shit out in 60 seconds and never have to do this again. Am I allowed 60 seconds?
I got it. I got it.
You time it.
Somebody give me 60 seconds, and here's the rule. Tell me when it starts, and regardless of where I'm at 60 seconds, say time. Because I was looking at these comments with Vel, and I'm looking at this Twitter hate and this Instagram hate, and these people hating on this show that I am a huge fan of. I barely watched Blackish. I like the show, but I've barely seen enough of them to get into it. I've never seen Mixedish. I saw 2 episodes of Grownish with Vel, but I really like hashtag Black as Fuck on Netflix.
All right, let me know when you're ready. I got it. I got a timer for you.
60 seconds. That's all I'm giving myself.
Ready?
They win.
All right. Take the controls. 3, 2, 1. Go.
How dare you people badmouth Rashida Jones? Do you have any idea who the fuck Rashida Jones' father is? Rashida Jones' father is the producer of the soundtrack to most of our lives, Quincy fucking Jones. Her name is Rashida Jones. People going online talking about when did Rashida Jones all of a sudden become black? Nigga, she's always been black. She's never played a white person. She's played what she is, a mixed actress, regardless of the characters that she was playing. Plus, her name is the blackest name I've ever heard of, Rashida Jones. If Leslie Jones looked like Rashida Jones, y'all wouldn't have shit to say about it. Not only that, watch the fucking show, Black as Fuck. Every episode shows how the repercussions of slavery are still carrying over in how we treat our day-to-day lives as black people in America, as minorities in America. Every fucking episode, they reference slavery and how it applies to what's happening
10
right now.
seconds.
Also, it's Kenya Barris's family. That's what his family looks like. Why you want his family to be black as shit? Some dude posted like, oh, that's not real niggas. What the fuck is a real nigga? Nigga means ignorant anyway. There's a bunch of shows of real niggas, like First 48 is a show about real niggas. Cops is a show
Delay
about
game. Shut up.
Time out? All right. Oh, fuck this.
That was good. That was good. I like that. I like that.
As soon as I
Hated.
saw the hate, I was about to, I wanted to snap off. But 60 seconds, that's it.
Why? How did you turn into Jay Roman this episode?
How did I turn that? Oh, because he goes on the rant. This hit me.
Jay Roman got so mad during that last podcast where you guys talked about Marvel stuff, and then he's like, yeah, but he doesn't do this. I'm like, Roman, baby.
All right, so the concept today is that the topic today is what happened to hip hop movies. Now, in order for us to get into that, we have to discuss what classifies as a hip hop movie. I've been questioning people like my roommates and other people like, you know, what's a hip hop movie to you? So we know some definites. Like we'll go, each of us will name off one in order. I'll name a hip hop movie. Jay, you name a hip hop movie. Lil Drummer Dude, you name a hip hop movie. I'll go. Beat Street.
Wild Style.
CB4.
Crush Groove.
Oh, we're just gonna keep going.
Just two. Crush Groove.
I'm Scratch.
All the Kid and Play movies. Class Act and CB4. Oh, not CB4. Excuse me. House Party.
Right. So these are hip hop movies. I think a hip hop movie classifies when the not only the people involved, but the story has something to do with and involves hip hop as a culture. Now, the thing that people get confused about is they're like, oh, well, then Boys in the Hood is a hip hop movie. No, it is not. Boys in the Hood is a movie about a neighborhood and about
It's a hood movie.
It's a what movie?
It's a hood movie.
It's a hood movie. It's a movie about the hood. It's a movie about growing up in that time, in that hood, and how rough it was. But it doesn't have shit to do with hip hop just because there's hip hop playing in the back. That doesn't make it a hip hop movie.
Or a rapper as an actor.
Right. But Ice Cube's in it. That don't make it a hip hop movie. If by that logic, are we there yet as a fucking hip hop movie? So
Right.
it's not a hip hop movie.
I mean, if you with that same line of thought, I brought up the movie Tag last time. If you want to talk about a movie being hip hop because there's music in it,
underrated.
that one has.
I agree with that.
Soundtrack is amazing.
I agree with that.
I told you all the rap songs that I listed. You can say that was one, but hell no, because it's not even close to one. It just has a great soundtrack.
Right? It has nothing to do with hip hop as a culture, so it doesn't count as a hip hop movie. But there have been hip hop movies that we.
That's like saying Malibu's Most Wanted is more of a hip hop movie than Tag.
hey, but I'm gonna say this for anybody who is maybe looking at and possibly want to check what's a hip hop movie. Don't Google it. Don't Google it because Malibu's Most Wanted will show up as a hip hop movie. It's ridiculous.
Yep, it was in Mojo's top 10 hip hop movies.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of different top movies.
Even though that Terry Crews verse was fire.
So on Google, the Complex magazine, they put out 35 most or biggest hip hop movies. The first 10 from 35 to 25, if I'm correct, none of them were actually hip hop movies. It was ridiculous.
What is wrong with people? Like it doesn't have anything to do with the culture. So here we'll do this. We'll say what our favorite hip hop movie is. So people kind of have an understanding because I can understand some people are still going to be confused. Like, so is New Jack City a hip hop movie? No, it is not. It has nothing to do with hip hop as a culture. Just because they walk through a club and Flavor Flav is there. No, I get that they were wearing what people were wearing at the time. They were wearing
Corner Singers.
They were they were members, they were hip hop influenced. A lot of these movies are influenced by hip hop. The show I was just talking about, #Black as Fuck. You could tell Kenya Barris is heavily influenced by hip hop. Easily, which most of us are. But that doesn't make his show a hip hop show. That doesn't make that movie a hip hop movie. So, Jay Roman, what is your favorite hip hop movie?
Okay, as bad as the acting is, I have to say Beat Street.
Okay. Why?
Because it shows all the elements. You got the rapping, you got the DJ, you got the graffiti, you got the dancing. There's different scenes doing different things, and the soundtrack is dope too. So it just shows the whole culture. Plus, it also shows a very, granted, it's old, so it's the early starts of it. It shows how it came up. It's from the hood, why it came that way, why these kids are doing what they're doing, and kind of that rebellious nature, you know. And then also it just kind of puts them all together. Plus, I like the older ones more than I like the newer ones because they even show more Puerto Ricans in it, because people don't realize, as much as hip hop is a black music thing, it's also a Puerto Rican thing. And in that era, it was blacks and Puerto Ricans put together, and they never show that anymore. They never show
just
Puerto
like New
Ricans.
York Undercover. I say one of the best shows on the planet, bro.
You know, it's like there's a lot more to it, but there's just so much to it, and it involves everything.
What nationality was Jessica Alba playing in Honey?
I think black. I don't quite remember.
I was gonna say if she was playing Puerto Rican, that's interesting. But okay, Beat Street, I fuck with Beat Street. Lil Drummer Dude, what's your favorite hip hop movie of all time?
Well, you know me, I can't just name one thing.
No, I know you, and you're not gonna cheat this time. You get one, motherfucker. Yep. One. You get one hip hop movie to show somebody, yo, this is a hip hop movie. This is my favorite. This represents hip hop as a culture. This is the one. Go check it out if you haven't seen it. What is that?
Then House Party.
House Party 1?
Yep. Yeah. Only
Nice. I'll take that.
Because it has, well, for our generation, it had the essence of rapping, flowing, the dancing, because hip hop without dancing, just about every hip hop music video ish had dancing in it.
Right.
So without, you know, and the style, it was us. Think about it. Anytime we were kids and we had like a house party, that's what we were doing, listening to hip hop, you know, and dancing most of the time. So, and all that music back then, that's where it was.
I explained to my roommates because they were like, how is House Party a hip hop movie? I was like, the goal of the movie was to get to a house party where they were playing hip hop and dancing to hip hop.
And the culture.
That's
okay.
Culture, right?
I just looked it up, and I should have asked Valtria this in the first place. The Honey is based off they say Hispanic hip hop dancer from the Bronx, I believe it said.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say maybe Puerto Rican, possibly not, but it doesn't matter. She's Latina.
She's Latino, right? Which I thought was pretty cool. So that I mean, it should be a lot more, because I mean, Crazy Legs was in every hip hop movie. In the first like 10 years of hip hop.
You know, and part of that is that's the parts people forget. People forget these things. So, you know, and that's understandable, because rap became the main part that people noticed for so long. Right. And still going like this, like the way it is.
Right.
And in every hip hop movie, you always had like somebody that had glasses like this back then.
Somebody was rocking.
I know who you're talking about.
Yo, man, they straight perpetrators, man. Oh, and also the terminology. Think about how much like the slang back then.
The slang is completely used.
Even saying that, like, we went from like sucker and jack to like perpetrator.
All right, so hold on. Okay, we got to get back to the point. Where were we at with this? All right, so
favorite hip hop movies. So here's my question. You count? Okay, I don't like documentaries. I don't like documentaries. We know that, but the argument that I was given by one of my roommates is my favorite hip hop movie can technically be seen as a documentary. I kind of disagree, but even if it is, it's still a movie. So
what is?
My favorite hip hop movie is Dave Chappelle's Block Party.
Okay, yeah. Hip hop movie all the way.
That's a curveball, but yeah.
See, it's a documentary. Basically, it's a hip hop. Because it's a concert doesn't mean, because keep in mind, there's acting in it. There's stand up in it. There's a tour of the journey from these people going from Ohio to going to New York.
Yeah.
You get to meet.
No, behind the scenes. I would say that's considered a documentary because he's telling stories about each of the artists of where they came from.
It is, but it is, but
in the relation. I consider that a documentary.
But even though it's a documentary, it's still a movie, is what I'm saying.
Yes. It's still a hip hop. It's still a movie based on hip hop, documentary or not, because you got to look at it like this. I said Scratch, and Scratch is a documentary on hip hop. It's about the DJs for the Scratch tour, and all that, and which I went to, winning tickets for, and it was amazing. So you got to put that in there. It's just a matter of, they're not all dramas, just like not all action films are dramas, stuff like that. So
it's still a movie. It's like Ice-T's The Art of Rap.
Yeah.
It's a movie. It's a documentary, but it's a movie.
True. So then you put Juice right next to New Jack City as not classifying as a hip hop movie. Then.
Correct. Even though Juice does have DJing in it, so it has an element.
And yeah, his goal was to get to his DJing gig.
So it's close, but it's still a drama about crazy ass guy.
Yeah. Right.
Crazy ass.
Right.
Damn crazy.
I'm crazy.
I just don't give a
Right.
I
don't give a.
So people knowing our favorite hip hop movie will kind of help them get a guideline on what we classify as hip hop movies. So knowing that, it is 2020. We haven't for a while hip hop movies, and I think part of it had to do with the fact that hip hop was still relatively new, which is why we had so many movies in the 80s.
Yeah.
True.
In the 90s, it leaned more towards gangster movies and black gangster movies, black hood movies, and then it kind of fell off on hip hop movies.
For sure.
But first of all, what was the last, in your opinion, not even great, not spectacular, but the last decent hip hop movie? We're in
8 Mile.
8 Mile. See, now we're
gonna get into that.
You know what? Let's get into it now.
Okay, sure.
Straight Outta Compton is a documentary.
But here's the thing.
Technically.
I feel like if you say anything that says
actually 8 Mile is too.
Hold on.
Anything that's based on a true story or loosely based on somebody's life, I consider to be a biopic. And so in that category, I would put 8 Mile, Get Rich or Die Trying, Straight Outta Compton.
Yep.
All Eyes on Me, Notorious.
All Eyes on Me, Notorious. All these are biopics about hip hop artists, which doesn't necessarily make it a hip hop movie. It's more like a biopic. So,
that's. I always have to say, and if you're going to go with the biopics, which I definitely want to get into, Crush Groove is a biopic. It's a biopic about Def Jam.
Yeah.
Right.
So all those movies are hip hop movies. There's no doubt about it. The only thing about it that it's not that it's questionable is that they only show rappers going for it. That's it. I mean, granted, Straight Outta Compton, yeah, they have a DJ, but he's not prominent. It's not like Run DMC. One of them is a DJ the whole time. Just like in Beat Street, there's a DJ, there's a rap, like there's the group. So that's the only problem with the biopics. They've all become about the popular rappers.
Right.
And granted, Crush Groove was like that too. It was a glory film to, this is how Def Jam started, which is great.
And Breaking did the opposite.
Oh yeah, Breaking totally tried to like.
They had Ice-T, but they didn't make it about him.
Yeah. Speaking of that, they also had Jean-Claude Van Damme in that. Biopics are definitely hip hop movies because they involve a major part. But also, it's not just that; it's them trying to make it into hip hop. Them trying to make themselves hip hop stars. You want to be a hip hop superstar or rap superstar? You know what I mean? Like like Be Real said. So that's definite. It's just only that one element. But all those guys had, Dr. Dre is the producer for M and for 50's biggest album. He was a DJ. He started off as a DJ.
Right.
So they are definitely hip hop movies. They're just not full elements. They're not all 4 elements, which is fine. As long as you can show like this is mainly about trying to be in hip hop, not going the route of the stuff that we saw in the 90s, because the music started to fall off. So what happened? The movies started to fall off.
Right.
Okay, then probably you'd say Hustle and Flow is probably the last hip hop movie then. It's not about anyone. It's just all fiction.
Yeah, so if you're talking about hip hop straight drama, yeah, you can definitely go there with Hustle and Flow. I had that in my list too, because people were trying to make it. They're going from scratch and trying to come up.
Right.
And it was a drama. It was all made up, and that's fine. That's totally cool. I'm cool with that. And there's so many out there that we've never seen because they just look like trash. And it's like just because you throw a rap
like In the Mix with Usher.
I don't even know what that is.
I know of it. Never saw it.
Same here.
There's one I wanted to see that I was told about. It came out 3 years ago. It was Love Beats Rhymes.
Yeah.
And it was Jill Scott and Common and a couple other people, and I never saw it.
Well, I'm definitely going to see it then if Jill Scott's in it.
Yeah, I feel the same way about that. I never saw it either, but yeah.
Yeah, I never saw it because that's just a Jill Scott can
when she held the mic, bro.
Oh, okay.
Jill Scott.
I do love me some Jill Scott.
His face froze on his Jill Scott face.
And every brother like this.
Just keep talking. We can hear you, but you froze.
That makes it so much funnier. We gotta. There you go.
There you go. There you go.
You had too much beer to delay the screen.
So there's one that we didn't mention, but most people consider to be one of the best hip hop movies of all time, and in my opinion, it was the last good one, and it's Brown Sugar.
Yeah.
Brown Sugar is a great movie about hip hop.
See,
True.
now I'm gonna tell you why for me it's a hip hop movie, because yeah, they have, you can just say, oh no, it's not, because it just has a rapper in there, whatever. But for me, the reason it is because you have people trying to come up in the hip hop world as execs from what they saw growing up with hip hop in their lives.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like for me, that is a hip hop movie. It's just a different side. It's just a different side.
Not just that, she applies in the storytelling, she applies hip hop to her everyday life. Like she says, here's when I fell in love with hip hop. Here's when I met it. Here's how I worked with it's basically a somebody's personal journey into the hip hop world, which is perfect for me. It makes tons of sense. Brown Sugar, in my opinion, was one of the last really good hip hop movies.
Now I haven't seen it in a while, but that's the one with Hip Hop Dalmatians, right?
Yeah.
Yo, every time I hear these clowns on the radio, I think of the Hip Hop Dalmatians.
Oh my god.
Hey, freaking 5 Heartbeats.
Oh my gosh.
I love Mos Def in that movie. Look, man, I'm not like you. I can't be in the gym 24/7. Brown Sugar was a good one. So you have what's on your list? You know what? Actually, we're gonna take a break. Let's take a break real quick. Let's hydrate. Let's re-up. I gotta get some more Crown Peach in me. We're gonna take a quick break. If you're listening, keep your ears open. If you're watching, keep your eyes open. We'll be right back. All right.
Hey y'all, it's your boy Shaun Q. As you can see,
am I pausing
I'm doing
this?
my message from my phone.
Oh my gosh.
What?
I think you just listen to us all day. That's what you do in your free time.
I love it.
Sir, have you not learned that if I like something, I will master it?
No, of course.
Create my own blend of jar shit to throw back at you. I got another one that I got to release too.
And we are back up in this piece.
And we back. Sorry.
We got our special guest, Lil Drummer Dude, in the building with us, joining us. And what we are chopping up about is what happened to hip hop movies. We already gave our
mumble rap.
Mumble rap is what happened. So
well, a lot was before that though. So
right.
A lot.
So let's get to. Well, you have a list. What's on you? You have a list that you were. I got a list. Here's the order of my list. It goes Jay-Z.
Okay, so
research.
Wait, what list are we talking though? For what?
I don't know. Well, we
timeline?
already talked about like you wanted to go. Were you doing like a timeline of movies?
I have like a timeline list a little bit. So in mine, we already mentioned the old ones. We all have like Beat Street, Crush Groove, stuff like that. We already jumped to biopics, which is way later. So in the 90s, and we talked about this a little bit with the hood movies, great soundtracks, rappers in them that did a decent job acting. Ice Cube was good. My bad with the mic, y'all. But in that same time, a lot of people don't realize this, there's a lot of documentaries in the 90s. A lot. I can't remember. I think Scratch Tours 2000s, but you have Rhyme and Reason, you have Backstage, you have a whole bunch of others that came in this time.
The Tribe Called Quest one.
That showcase, okay, these are now the real artists doing their thing. You know what I mean? I'm not sure how many of them actually, I didn't watch a lot of those, honestly, because I saw so many concerts at some point that I was like, you know what? I don't need to go see the backstage stuff. I just like watching them live, period. So I'm not sure how many of those had multiple people in the shows as far as not just rappers, because it was mostly about the rappers on tours, which is great. But that's what was coming out. You had the smoke tours and all that, smoke out, up and smoke tours, whatever.
Smoke.
So you had a lot of the tour DVDs coming out. That's what happened in the 90s. Like the movies kind of went away. They took away from hip hop and just made it, okay, now look at your artists coming up. But then you have to look at what came in a little bit later and kind of in the middle, and then definitely in the 2000s. Those damn dancing movies. All of them. Step Up. Nice Patriots hat, by the way. I forgot to mention that. Oh, and shirt. That's right.
Yeah, he wasn't doing that for that.
Step Up, Save the Last Dance. All this garbage. Y'all listening?
Yeah, we listen.
Pump the Yard, Save the Last Dance, all this.
You know what I mean?
Money.
Which it's like they tried to take. So what happened there is it's starting to get commercialized. The powers that be saw, they're starting to be money. In the 90s is when hip hop or rap took over the radio as the number one thing on the radio. It took over rock. It took over country. It started to do that. So they're like, Now here's the money. Let's start putting out these whack-ass dance movies. Don't get me wrong. The dance movies are tight. They look good. But the movies, the storylines are garbage. Except
and Stomp the Yard.
Yeah, and whatever the one Nick Cannon did, which not a hip hop movie, but it was really cool. Drumline, that's right. But
Roll Bounce.
Except for I gotta say, don't even start with me. So I gotta say though, I gotta bring this up because we brought up Honey. So I gotta bring it up. Okay, so Honey was put to me that it's actually more of a biopic of the person, the hip hop dancer that we mentioned, who taught these girls how to dance in the 90s videos. So we can't. I'm not gonna call it whack. I'm gonna call it what it is. It's a movie that is a hip hop person. I'll leave it at that. Granted, they never paid her apparently for this so-called biopic. She never was able to prove apparently that she was exploited and got anything from it. So I don't know. As far as like the movie being about her, I don't know if she was able to prove that from what I read. Hopefully, someone in the who listens can follow up and say, "Hey, I do know about the finishing to that. She got paid for this or didn't for that." Anyway, you had all these movies and they're just terrible. I mean, what is it? Channing Tatum in that one where he was raised by black people.
Time out. So you're telling me you didn't like
Mr. Carter?
Get up those stairs.
Coach Carter?
Step Up 7. Get up those stairs. You never saw.
Just stop. Just stop. You know why I've seen some of those? Because my wife likes them. She likes the dancing.
I've never seen one Step Up movie. I've never seen longer than 3 minutes of any of the Step Up movies.
You didn't say Bring It On? Come on. Everyone saw that.
I'll tell you this right now, and I already said it. The dance moves are tight, but what they're doing is they're stealing hip hop based moves and throwing into mainstream dance. Like, oh, this is the thing to do now because everyone started using so-called hip hop moves.
What's the?
Yeah, because you know what, You Got Served is one of the greatest movies of all time.
Stop. Just stop.
Is if you don't watch that last dance scene, that's the only part of that movie to watch. Watch the last 20 minutes of the movie. The rest is a ball of trash.
You might as well go just watch Save the Last Dance with Julia Stiles.
That's why I was doing this.
Yeah.
So that's more what my timeline was, and so that kind of covers the middle ground, and then we got into the biopics, which after the biopics, they were few and far between because it's not just that. Rock made a comeback, and they got their biopics going, and all that. Rock made a comeback, and they got their biopics, but so you have that in between. But the 2000s is where like nothing really has been going on except for those dance films.
It was all dance movies, a couple of biopics.
Yep. Well, because you know what sparked that? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Shaun. Is America's Best Dance Crew? It was the dance version of American Idol. That's when dancing really in my head, aside from like the 90s era, like that's what kind of sparked it. Because after that, that's when you got groups like Jabberwockies, Quester, and all stuff, who now are like ruling all the dance videos. All the hip hop videos now, like, the baby's got Jabberwockies, he takes them everywhere now. Yeah. So without those like that, Still You Think You Can Dance. There's other. What's the one with the celebrities?
America's Got Talent.
No. There's a dance show with like they do like celebrities.
Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, that's when America's Best Dance Crew and all that stuff. That's when it like dancing was everything.
I think it actually came after because America's Best Dance Crew didn't come out till 2008, and you already had you had Step Up, Stomp the Yard, all the rest of that shit before that even came out. But yeah, they definitely piggybacked on that and then rode that fucking wave as far as they possibly could. They're still riding that wave. Now you got Masked Singer where people dress up in fucking costumes and sing like jackasses.
Tony Hawk won the other night.
Who the peacock is? Who's the peak? What the fuck, man? Like
it's so stupid.
I saw you at a size 7, so it had to be.
It's
I was watching all the how they figured out. I'm like, what?
It's fucking stupid. It's madness. So I think we can agree. I don't know if you saw How High 2, but I did not.
No.
I had no desire to see it. I also had no desire to see a movie with Wiz Khalifa and Snoop Dogg in high school. So
that was so stupid. The premise alone made me like, nope, not watching that.
50-year-old Snoop Dogg is a high school student, and the 18 people who saw this are cool. Get the fuck out of here. Like I thought they fell off. And this is one of the times where we can't really blame mumble rap, but because hip hop is not what it used to be and what it was, I don't think anybody truly wants to see a movie about most of the motherfuckers who are doing it right now. Like, I have no desire to see Lil Yachty's claim to fame. None whatsoever.
Well, these guys all have right now some kind of bio something on Netflix or Hulu that shows them.
Kyle's got one.
You know, and so it's like, okay, I don't even know what to think, because on one hand, I want to see part of it, but I kind of feel like I'm going to equate it to Trump, right? And I always have to bring up Trump because he's an asshole, and so are these whack-ass rappers. So it's like you want to see the shit show, and then you want to see the people who love it, and then you just want to wonder why, and you want to ask them, why do you love this? And are those legitimate? Like, are you for real? Do you really think that is either good or the truth or something that is going to
He's just impressionable enough to believe, oh, this sounds like some dope stuff. Everybody else says it's dope. I must like this.
They play it 1,000 times a day. I have to like this song. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't get the people who follow these people into these songs or realms or wherever the hell they're going with their nonsense. I don't get it.
Hey, listen.
Maybe I'm just old fogey. I'm just an old fogey.
We have to stand in a vape circle and say y'all a lot. Then we'll get these niggas. The minute we just end up,
see, okay, you keep going with the yas. You keep going with the yas, but I'm telling you, when you listen to the old songs again, and you're like, oh man, this guy says yo, and that's Busta Rhymes like 1,000 times per track.
Busta Rhymes also had, y'all, and then he would start rhyming.
Yeah,
these niggas would go, yeah.
DMX barked. He barked on mic.
You think it's a game? You think it's a fucking game? Well, it is.
DMX would bark on a song and then rap. These niggas are doing it backwards. They'll rap like 2 lines and then spend the rest of the song barking.
Good point.
Okay. Okay. Good point. You got that one. You got that one.
Get it.
Right? Imagine if a Busta Rhymes song was him saying like 3 lines, he's like, oh, and then the rest is yeah. Like, don't nobody want to hear that shit. They would have clowned the fuck out of Busta Rhymes.
Oh man.
So that's the difference. They flipped it to turn it into trash. And because of it, you can't really say. I feel like the people who are making these hip hop movies were like passionate about hip hop. When you think about Brown Sugar, when you think about B Street, when you think about CB4, which is fucking brilliant and hilarious. When you think about these movies, these are people who are passionate about the subject. Because I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all.
Okay, so
black.
Speaking of that, Drummer Dude, why then? Because you said CB4 as far as when we started asking about movies. Why is that your favorite?
Well, here's the thing. It's number one. It's funny as hell.
It is.
If you really think about it, it's a spoof about NWA.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's think about it. So again, it has the whole. It had a touch of every bit of hip hop. You had the hardcore rappers. You had the hammer type like rappers. And then you just have, it's like I said, it's a semi biopic of like, NWA. So
yeah, no, absolutely.
Why wouldn't it be a hip hop movie?
That's true. It is hilarious. I just watched it.
Sweat from your balls and everything. So
you can relate. I can relate.
I compared to try to get a friend of mine who wasn't really big on hip hop, and I was trying to explain how CB4 was. And he was like, why not just Straight Outta Compton? It's the actual story. And I was like, you have to look at CB4 is for hip hop what Spinal Tap is for rock.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
And a lot of people, they were like, because everybody who listens to rock is like, oh yeah, Spinal Tap. Yeah. That's what CB4 was for us. And so
like Slapshot is for Mighty Ducks.
You gonna be okay? You gonna be all right? Yeah. So I don't know. Why do you think hip hop movies fell off?
The music took hip hop. Like we had good hip hop, and then you had hip hop movies. When the hip hop got bad, it's like the creativity level. Not saying that current hip hop and and mumble rap has no creativity. It's just the relatability, I guess. those hip hop movies we can all kind of relate to. You put a hip hop movie out now, it's how many of us can relate to that?
That's it, and that's why they're not coming out. That's why in the last what is it, 5-6 years, there's been Notorious, Tupac, and Straight Outta Compton.
To remind us like the good old days.
Because they want to remind us of what actually was good, why, and of course the tragedy of a lot of it too. But I will tell you this: part of the reason the movies aren't coming out now, and this kind of goes back to the same thing I just said about the movies. They show us what was good, and of course the tragedy part and all that. But a lot of the hip hop stuff is coming out as a show now. I mean, look at it. You have. If you haven't seen it yet, at least watch the first season of The Get Down. At least, I think it's on Netflix. Right. It's narrated by Nas, and it shows all the elements. In fact, it's the beginning of hip hop. It's got someone playing Kool Herc. It's got someone playing Grandmaster Flash. It's got the start of a group that is trying to become rappers, and there's DJs, and one's a DJ, and they're dancing, they're up there, and they're having battles in the backyards and the parks. It's amazing, man. And it's the hood, and it's got Puerto Ricans in it, and it's got black people in it all together because they were doing it together. People forget the stuff, and of course, I got to throw that in there. But it always kind of makes me a little sad too, because I look at it, I'm like, man, that should have been us, because it shows the era of the come up in hip hop, and it's so good, man. And it breaks my heart. It's so good, and it's a love story. I haven't got that far into season 2. I don't know why it didn't really grab me like I wanted. Right. But season 1, I've watched it like 3 or 4 times. Anyway, and
Wu-Tang.
There was the Wu-Tang American Saga. Yeah. Wu-Tang and American Saga. Yo, I binged it the other day, like 4 hours. I gotta get back into it because I'm fiending for it. But my family's been home, so I can't really watch because it is aggressive. I don't want my little girl to think that all I watch are some of my gangster flicks, because part of it, and I was talking to Shaun the other day,
that's good.
is I don't know a lot about Wu-Tang's upbringing because there's just too much to know. Plus, them being from New York during the crack era, I know that. My family was part of the crack era. My family did not so great things during the crack era. So I don't really need to relive it in that way. But it's amazing to see what they put on film, because a lot of it's like, wait, how much of this is actual? Because it is produced by the RZA. It was not going to be without him and a few of the members. Yeah. So it's like the way they come together, and Shaun, you got to watch this, man. The way they come together.
You haven't seen it, Shaun?
You got to be like, really?
No, yeah. Dude, I'll say
So the way they come together as a group is not how I ever thought it happened. I did not know it happened the way it did, and as slowly as it did. It's a lot different than I expected. They weren't friends.
I haven't seen it, but I'm assuming 37 motherfuckers didn't just walk into a room and say, "Hey, let's be."
It's so disrespectful, man.
Well, here's the thing: is that I didn't realize like how close they were, like as a unit before it even started. Yeah. And the one thing, those 2 things you're definitely gonna learn, Shaun, when you watch this is they like it raw, and Wu-Tang ain't nothing to fuck with.
I think I knew that about them. I think I read a book somewhere.
So here's the thing. They were close, but not. Like, they didn't start off as friends, which I always thought they did. Not all of them. So check it out. Watch the first couple episodes. Plus, it has a bunch more like up and coming good actors that I didn't realize were in there that I really liked.
Kid that was in Straight Outta Compton is in it. And
Straight Outta Compton.
Doing phenomenal.
The kid that's from the kid from Dope and from The Get Down, and also he's in that too. And now the other kid that's in Equalizer 2 and Captive State, he's in that too.
That's right. I forgot about that.
So yeah, that's a lot of good people, and you got to check it out.
Dude, I only watch my people's movies if our hero Chadwick Boseman is in them. I'm just fucking.
and it's a good. It's very well done cinematically.
Movie too.
Yeah. There you go. It's high quality, so it's good.
I'm too young for this.
I am too young for this shit. Like, no accent in this one, Chadwick. No accent in this one.
Okay, I'm too young for this. No, not James Brown. I'm too young for this.
Right?
No, not Jackie Robinson.
They're like, is there a black hero that we
have? Riggs, 7-Up. How many people say?
Right. Didn't he also play that famous judge? What's his face?
Yeah.
Marshall.
Thurman. Marshall. Yeah.
Thurgood Marshall.
Yeah, he's gonna play Barack Obama.
I'm too old for this.
He's gonna play Jesse Jackson. He's gonna play all these motherfuckers in the same. He's gonna Nutty Professor all our heroes and at a table just all over.
Wakanda.
So you have a very. Let's get into our. We gotta wrap it up. So we gotta get into our what the shit moment.
Wait, hold on.
Go.
If there's one right now, if there's one movie you could suggest to someone right now, what would it be?
I thought that was our favorite.
Wait, in what way? What do you mean recommend one
Like
movie?
someone who's never watched a hip hop movie, would you just
Oh,
tell them your favorite?
That was. I thought that I would. Why would I not recommend my favorite?
Okay. Never
Don't
mind.
be in Medicine South Central while drinking the juice.
Or maybe how about mention something in the last 20 years?
Trash. No, I'm gonna go with. Wait, what are we? 2020? Yeah, because it was 01. I'm sticking with Brown Sugar.
Okay.
That's mine. Last 20 years. What do you got, Lil Drummer Dude?
Ooh, last 20 years.
Yeah, because CDC last 20 years.
No.
If you could think of one.
Last 20 years.
What
Dang.
do you got?
Come back to me.
Yeah.
Let me think about this
Come
one.
back around. What do you got, Jay?
I'm gonna go with and I saw this in theaters, and it is really only like one element of hip hop. So I understand if people want to get into it because it's a dance one. But Planet B-Boy.
Planet B-Boy was in theaters?
Planet B, small time theater. It was like there was a 3-day release. One of the releases had the producer of it, which I missed that one. Planet B-Boy is super dope. It's about the hip hop, about the breaking championships and all that, and how it's in Germany and how the U.S. hasn't won in so long, and everyone has their own style. Like I forget, I haven't seen it in a while, but it was like Thailand has smoother style, whereas Japanese is all about power moves, and Germany's heavy hitters and all this stuff. It's crazy. And then LA, or not LA, but US, they're trying to get it back, and they're trying to, they're like, we got to bring this back to the States. It started in New York. We got to bring this back, and blah, blah. But other than that, though, the movie's phenomenal. It shows the background of these kids, and some of them have some real serious issues, with family and all that, not believing in them. But Planet B-Boy is super dope. I've always been partial to the breaking. I love breaking. I love watching it. It's amazing.
Yeah, I grew up on that one.
I watch it.
I'll probably say All Eyes on Me then, because Tupac gets this bad rap, with some people in general, but they got to understand where and how that beast was created.
Who the fuck is out here giving Tupac a bad rap? Like, what the fuck?
Maybe I'll watch that one.
No, some people just they see Tupac and then they just naturally assume. I'm thinking it more than just just black people in general. So,
I know what you mean.
And yeah, so I would probably say All Eyes on Me.
Maybe I have to actually watch it then, because I told Shaun I'm not watching the Pac or Big movies because we grew up in that era. I read, and I've said this on another podcast, I've read interview after interview. I've watched them over and over in these interviews. I've read books on them. I've read articles of their interviews all over. I've seen the interviews. I don't need to see a biopic that's going to have some sensationalized crap that probably doesn't even make sense and probably didn't even actually happen. And some of it does, and I get that, but I'm not trying to watch that because I already know that, and I don't want them to try and put out something that I know is false.
I think because we used to read XXL, we used to read Source, we would check all these articles, and the last Tupac movie I saw that I was like, all right, I'm gonna take it, was Resurrection, and it was basically a documentary, and most of the stuff they were saying, I'd already known about most of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen All Eyes on Me, and I haven't seen Notorious, and I have not had a desire to see either.
Me neither.
Because I have an image of these two that they wouldn't change. It's just the same thing. I'm probably gonna watch it. I was gonna see it in theaters. I just slept on it. I was like, I'm good. I know as much about Tupac as I need to know, but
maybe someday.
I might catch it at some point. It might happen.
And the fact that the cat that was who played Biggie wasn't All Eyes on Me, because he just nailed it as Biggie.
That's
for
good.
us.
That's good.
Like how certain people are always going to be certain people, he will forever be Biggie.
Okay.
Because he nailed it that well.
Okay.
So
nice.
So let's get into our what the shit moment of the
what the shit. Sorry.
Our boy
taking all the samples.
Anyway, he's
like, man, I ain't taking everybody's gig, son. Drummers, DJs, comics. I'm taking every. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna go to the car, get Mother Gun, shoot everybody's ass. Right.
What all right, I'm gonna let Jay, I'm gonna let you go in, because I believe, aren't you the one who came up? You have the what the shit, is that you or is that Vel?
Veltruda wrote it out, but I brought it up. We were watching it together anyway, and we were both like, what is going on over there? So
what, the disinfectant injections?
No, that's another thing. Yo, that's insane. That is insanity. This guy is our president telling people to inject disinfectant into their bodies. Anyway.
So, yeah, we'll talk about that later.
So the what the shit is about you, Georgia governor. I'm not even going to say your damn name because you're a damn fool. As of yesterday, opened up some small businesses so they can start doing whatever. Non-essential, of course. Now let's check this out. Why is the governor of Georgia trying to kill people of color? As of this date, yeah, check it out.
What?
Yeah, Georgia started opening barbershops, hair salons, nail salons, and tattoo parlors. Now, are these essential businesses?
The fuck?
So this is in Georgia. Who runs most of those businesses, especially in certain communities?
Minority.
Now, how do you socially distance someone who has to physically touch you? Someone who's injecting your body with ink, which means there's blood. How do you socially distance that? Now, what the fuck kind of tattoo do you need right now? What the fuck hairdo do you need right now? Speaking of Pac, you know what I mean? Like,
so the governor of Georgia is like, listen, we're gonna open essential businesses, and only these people are allowed to be around each other. Chicken shops,
Listen.
liquor stores, barbershops, nail salons, tattoo parlors, Baptist churches.
So this is the plot. This is the plot to kill off people of color and the poor people, because who needs to work right now? Most of those people, right?
Right. Wow. I believe it. What the shit, bruh?
Yeah.
Wow. I was like, what up, Banks? No. Banks will stay as is. But
you know who can fix all this?
Huh?
You know who can fix all this?
Batman. What is wrong with you? So before we get out of here, we are gonna I'm gonna say real quick. I just dropped a song for our good friend Curtis Millender. Trying to write. I had to create a rock anthem with my boy Jameis Ivine. Jay Petty was on the drums. We dropped this rock anthem. It was a shot at it. Song is everywhere. Shut up. Song is everywhere. And check it out. It's called "I'm a King" by Shaun Q. It should be everywhere. It's streaming. And Lil Drummer Dude, say something to people. Where can we find all your shit? Where can we find your stuff?
You can find me. Sorry, I almost freaking said the Nelly lyrics. Such a DJ. You can find me at Lil Drummer Dude, LIL Drummer Dude on Instagram. You can also find my alter ego and my what do you call my alias, Mr. Booty Man at Yo Booty Man on Instagram. Yeah, and also you can find my YouTube channel at Lil Drummer Dude Vids, LIL Drummer Dude VIDZ. And yeah, join the nation, baby.
Yo, and for those who haven't seen it yet, check out that Lil Drummer Dude's vids because has me dying. The other day I was in bed and I should not have been in bed at the time watching it because my wife was sleeping and I was rolling right next to her and waking her up. It was so good. Wait
till you see the new one I'm going to drop today. Matter of fact, I'm going to make sure
I can't wait.
It is dope stuff. We want to thank you for jumping in with us, Lil Drummer Dude. We appreciate the support. You always call in to Anchor and you leave us voicemails and we listen to all of them. We love that shit. We appreciate you. We love you. We are going to get up out of here. Until next time, I'm Shaun Q. Be smart.
Jay Roman.
Peace.
Pull out for what?